You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for MTV's Challenge. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest challenge gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for MTV's Challenge.
Woo!
Challenge.
It always cuts off. Why does it do that?
I don't know.
Challenge.
Because
Welcome, everyone. Here, I'm hosting tonight's challenge. Because DJ Jesse
be a long
Jamie
night.
can't be here tonight, so I'm taking in the reins, and Roxy over here is going to be helping me. So we have two special guests. They're here again, like always.
Not really
we
special
love them.
anymore.
They're
We're not
really
special anymore.
You guys are
but we still
special.
love them.
Our season's over.
We have Alex and Frank in the building.
Hey guys, it's Emily.
Oh,
Hi,
girl.
Emily.
How you doing, girl?
Emily, I gotta introduce. See, I gotta teach you introductions. I was ready to introduce you guys, and we have Emily Harbert
Oh, I
and
didn't
Steve the
forget-
Steamer.
I didn't forget about you, Steamer.
Steamer's here. Steamer, not here, but in the house.
What's up?
Oh, what's up,
yeah.
Steamer?
Hi.
Sorry, Emily. We
help
mean,
us out
what's up,
tonight.
Emily and Steve?
Hey guys, I can't stay on the phone for long. I just came in to deliver the results.
Oh, girl, you
Oh.
don't gotta minus any of my points.
From
You
our
gotta make sure that
teams.
stuff is straight.
Okay, so I'm going to have to talk to go to the experts about Dustin and Heather's.
Yes, no, they got kicked off.
leave.
They got kicked off. For sure,
I don't
they
know
got
if
the
that
points.
counts as a kickoff
It
though.
does.
It definitely does.
That was
They
a
got
kickoff.
kicked off. They got
Do you
kicked off.
think-
They had no choice.
Counts as a kickoff.
That was a
It shouldn't.
kickoff.
It shouldn't count.
Whoa, Steamer!
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it doesn't. I'm gonna go to the experts tomorrow.
Okay, I think it counts. Why wouldn't it count? I don't understand.
They're not on.
Steamer the expert?
Yeah.
Because you're kicked off for like
Do you have to like punch
fighting
someone?
or
Yeah.
doing what stupid something that Vinny did, like inappropriate
Oh, well,
behavior.
okay, well, wasn't Dustin drunk by the pool when he fell? So that
I'm
was
sure.
stupid.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
However it
We're
happens,
gonna-
you're kicked off.
we're
kicked
gonna-
off.
We're gonna go to the experts tomorrow and see.
The expert is
I
on the
don't
phone
wanna
right
risk
now.
Who are the
Wow,
experts? Who
That
are
was
the
actually
experts?
our first topic, Dustin.
Grantland, it's the expert.
Wait, can you tell us? Oh, I need the results. I need to know how well I'm doing.
Okay. Well,
I'm not doing
I have 165. I got 25 points from Abram crying.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
I thought it was really cute.
Nicolette, you have 205 points.
Whoa.
Yeah,
You got 10 points from Paula winning the challenge, and Diem got 10 points from saying that she thought she was going to marry CT.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Jesse got 25 points for for the ambulance being called,
Oh, okay.
and he has Dustin, so we'll see.
So how many
What
does he have
happened?
total?
And so he has 50 points
Okay.
total. And Roxy, you have 65 points
Woo!
total. You
I'm
got
excited.
45 tonight. Oh, this is Team Roxy / Frank.
Yeah.
Heather,
welcome.
5 from Kissing Dustin. 15 from Ty, who won the elimination. 10 from Dunbar, who won the challenge, and 15 from Emily for
That's
winning the
good.
elimination.
So I got you like legit points.
We got the most
was
points
good.
tonight, right?
Yeah.
I think you.
Oh my God, I won something.
Yeah, you.
Just let her have it.
Yeah,
Just
you
let her
did.
have
Highlight of her
Just let us
life.
have it.
Thanks.
Let us have it.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Thank you so
And
much.
you'll still be up there because Jesse has Dustin, you have Heather, so we'll see.
Oh,
All right.
right.
I could be getting 100 points.
Yeah, no matter what, it will be
You keep saying
Nicolette.
I.
We
No matter what? Hold on,
getting
what?
greedy.
no matter what, it'll be Nicolette, me, Roxy, then Jessie.
I'm still number 1.
I'm not in last place. We
Girls
are.
run the world. Again, Team Nicolette is in first place.
Okay, so
FYI.
have fun, guys, and I will see you next Wednesday.
Thank you for calling in with the
Bye.
results.
Thanks for calling.
You're welcome. Bye.
So we did see Dustin and Heather get kicked off. How'd you guys feel about that?
Stupid.
I thought it was
I thought
not
it was silly.
fair.
I didn't think it was that
I
serious.
feel like there have been worse injuries.
I know this is a stupid question, but couldn't they have changed the challenge this week to an intellectual challenge?
It was an intellectual
know.
challenge.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean something where
Who was
he
married
just,
to Brad Pitt?
he just didn't have to fall off that thing. Like,
Yeah,
why
I guess
did-
they were worried about the water.
That is true.
in-
That would have
in
busted
his
it even
injury.
more. maybe.
Yeah, but why did
germs.
they? So why did? I didn't really understand that part of the challenge. That you have to fall off the thing. And then,
I think it's an intimidation thing. Like, it makes you nervous before you're going. They're about 70 feet up there. That was
that's
pretty
fine,
crazy.
Yeah.
but make him do something else then. I didn't think it was fair that he had to go.
I also just think they shouldn't have kicked them off because I think Dustin and Heather probably bring in a lot of viewers.
Right. And I do
Yeah, I
feel
love
like
them.
Heather could have just done that challenge. You know what I'm saying? I
That's
mean,
true. They let Anissa's partner go for
Right.
her when Anissa was injured.
Yeah.
So
What the
why-
hell?
So why couldn't Heather just?
I know.
That's really weird.
That's why I wasn't into it, because it kind of was an individual challenge this time.
Exactly.
It could have worked.
So he could have maybe sat out for like that week
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and then got back in.
But we don't actually know what the doctors were saying, like how long it was going to be till he could compete. So
Looked like a
So
pussy
li-
cut.
So
Yeah,
little.
like-
It was so little.
But still, I
He could
mean,
still walk. There wasn't a single thing that happened this
Right.
week he couldn't have done.
I completely agree. I thought that was crap.
And who wouldn't have wanted to see Dustin and Heather versus Leroy and Naomi in the dome?
In the dome.
Seriously, I wonder who would have won that, because if you think about it, Naomi
Size-wise,
and
they're about
Heather
the
are
same.
pretty.
Yeah, but you got to think about Dustin and Leroy for a second. Not just does Leroy have size on him, but he doesn't like him very much either. So it would be really fun to watch that happen.
Leroy's size was definitely a disadvantage to him, though, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
It's just
well-
he's so big. It's a lot of weight.
I mean, yeah, we can talk about the challenge now, since that's the second topic we're about to talk about.
Then-
Okay,
let's talk about
right
why it shouldn't have been an intellectual challenge.
Well, I don't.
Considered an
I
intellectual
was
challenge.
freaking out during this entire time because the questions were so. I mean, some of them were so easy
Like,
and some of them were so hard.
Like, he knew which questions to ask. Who? Like, I don't know if it was just randomly.
That's what I was
like,
wondering. Are the
he picked
questions
out of, like, a
completely
hat
random?
or something?
Or
Yeah.
did they select certain questions? for
Like,
certain
why are you
people?
asking Leroy about the Spice Girls?
I know, right?
Here's
Like,
the
at least give him one that he
Name
might
Britney
know.
Spears' second single, Leroy.
Here's the thing. No, it was about Sleeping Beauty. Okay, a little different.
Even
She's a
worse.
classic.
That's even worse.
No, here's the thing. Like I always compare the show to Survivor because I think they're kind of similar in a sense. And on Survivor, whenever they do these shows where you have to recall or they're intellectual shows, it's about Survivor and everything that's been on Survivor. And that would be fair if they did every question based on the challenge or on a Real World or whatever it is, or an MTV show at least. This was like you could get questions that you had never even heard of the person's name, and the person next to you could get a question that's like spell tree.
Yeah, which I feel like everything should have been even in a way.
I feel like, though, if the questions were just kind of randomly drawn, then it was fair. It just sucks. You're unlucky, you know?
That is
But that
true.
is kind of what the challenge is about. I think half of it, more than half, is about skill, but a lot of it really is just luck and who you're put into the dome with.
It was so much about luck, though, that I don't know. I'm the only one who didn't think it was fair.
I gotta say, I think I think all the shows, not just this one, not just this challenge, is about luck and politics.
It's so
I don't think
flawed.
it matters. It doesn't matter who you are, because think about it, just
You
like
could get to the end if you're never thrown into the dome.
exactly.
You never
If
really
you
come
are
last.
if you are Johnny
That is
Bananas,
true.
you're not going into the dome. Done. Like, you know that going into it, so you're
Why not?
Because he's the king. He's the kingpin. He's the one who's never gonna get thrown in because everyone's like afraid of him.
But wasn't everybody afraid of what's Emily? I was like, what's the second girl's name?
Emily. Emily and Ty.
Unfortunately, the girls aren't the ones running the game, though.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's
But I
always
feel
the
like
guys.
It's always
everybody,
the dudes.
all the girls are like, oh no, Emily, she's scary.
But Johnny, like, he's like the caveman. Like, he's the man.
And he's won before, and he's got all these
I'm
intimidation.
curious as to how that happens, and I'm not just trying to be naive and like Johnny ain't shit, but I really am curious as to how.
Do you become?
I want to go.
becomes
Can we
the
actually
king
go to
of the
Steamer for that one
challenge.
and ask him, like,
Yeah.
why has Johnny risen to the top like this? Like, why does he have this power?
Yeah, out of
Is it
all of them,
strength?
why
Is it
him?
skill? Or is it just
luck?
luck? Or I don't know, intimidation?
Do you know Steamer?
He's just been there a while, and he's friends with basically everybody on there. Like Mark, he's friends with.
CT, it looks like he's becoming friends with, and just like that familiarity with them. Like, I just feel like they don't want to cross him because they think that he already has like a set group that would vote with him. Like basically Mark would vote with him, and etc. So
True.
you want to pick off like the teams that don't really have any allegiances anywhere else, and that's unfortunately what would happen. Like Leroy and like Dustin Heather, if they stuck around. So
Yeah.
Why do
that's just the way
people
it
not
works.
like him? You got
Well,
nobody
that's
seems
gonna
to
be really
like him.
interesting
Johnny?
though
Yeah.
when it does get down to
Because
like
he wins because
the
he
big
has the
guy.
power. Because in
Yeah.
a situation like that, I feel like people are less likely to like the person who.
No, I don't mean on the show. I mean,
in real
I mean
life?
viewers. I feel like
viewers.
he's always getting. I mean, at AfterBuzz, Jesse, you, Emily, you guys always are tearing him apart. Steamer.
Well, it's not. We're not tearing
Yeah.
him apart. We just his arrogance is just kind of
Yeah.
out
Like
there.
in some of the challenges, like he's just like over the top, like obnoxious. Like on the
Yeah.
island, he was just unbearable. But then
Right.
on like some of these challenges, like now, like he seems a little quiet down. Like obviously, it could just be what they're showing us.
I haven't really seen
But,
much of
like,
that on this.
Just some of the
one
challenges
so far.
just bad, and I personally don't like him most of the time.
Right.
It just seems sneaky, is all it is. Especially,
There's
and
some-
like
Yeah.
The fact that we're not seeing anything this time is even worse, really, because it's like, so what's going on behind closed doors? What are like the political
Right.
moves going on behind closed doors that we don't see?
I'd like to see a challenge where there's just no possible way to be in alliance with anyone, where it's just each person for themselves, and there's no sort of like voting, and it really is purely based on.
It's all new kids.
But
It's
that, I
never
guess
gonna
that wouldn't be
happen.
dramatic enough. Cause
Why
the
is that never
drama
going to
thing.
happen? Why
They'll
don't?
never put all new kids on there because people think about the like who pulls in, like
No,
people
but
want to
I'm-
watch.
I'm saying even if it were old people, but there were no like voting system. I think that might take the drama out of it though. If it was just purely based upon physical strength and like the last
That
and
is
second to last
true.
people in the challenge fight each other, next, and it's just all.
But I
simple.
think
Yeah.
it's important to have the voting because it is about how personable you are, and that is a skill within itself.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what these people make it about. So it doesn't work that way. But that's the way that it's intended to work. I
Right.
think, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah.
I'm kind of pissed about this challenge, though. So I'm just sitting here being a Debbie Downer.
How did you feel about the challenge steamer?
Going in, I thought it would be cool since I remember they did a spelling bee on the Duel 2, and I enjoyed that, just seeing these idiots try to spell words. And like Brad, I forget what word he had, but it was bad. He completely missed it, and they threw him off like a cliff. And it was just amusing to watch. This one, I don't know, it seemed to drag on too long.
Yeah,
And
it
was a
also the
slow
fact
episode.
that, like, someone brought up earlier, like, some of them were hard. Like, I think I'm pretty smart, but there's a bunch of them I had no clue on. Like, I didn't know what a female
They
fox is
stumped
called.
Steamer.
I'm sorry.
Vixen, bro. It's
Yeah.
Vixen.
But Steamer, did you know the answer
I
to
know that
everyone?
now.
Did you know the answer to every question about the past shows?
The only ones I don't know really are like the locations. Like I didn't know which one was in Africa. I assumed there's one in the
I didn't realize
Infernos.
there
I
was
just
one
didn't
in
know
Africa.
Inferno 3 since I don't really care about geography. I just mainly focus on like the actual challenge.
That's how
Right.
Alex got
I
cast on
think
our
I was
season.
serving water
Yeah.
at the last.
At the one in Africa.
I think they
Oh, yeah?
donated shoes to me.
Oh my God, AfterBuzz exclusive. That's crazy.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
People at home are like, really? Wow, that's incredible.
They cast me for real role when I was 3.
Yeah.
They're like that one.
And they raised you that way. Wow.
I was the paid actor.
Yeah. Oh
I was
shit.
raised by Buna Murray.
You and Michael. you and Michael both join the ranks.
Amazing.
No, I thought this challenge was super slow. They dragged it on for a really long time, and like overall, the episode, like, I mean, I'm not expecting people to fight. This isn't Bad Girls Club, but we didn't really see any moves being made, even political moves.
No.
Like Paula was just like talking to everybody.
I just want to see
I
people
know.
make out. There was none of that either. So.
There's nothing.
Yeah, you're gonna get to love. I mean, the Abram and
Cara Maria,
Yeah,
she's
her.
beautiful.
Cara
I'm like,
Maria.
Yeah, you're
Cara
in love.
Maria.
I'm casually obsessed with how pretty.
I think
she
she's
is.
gorgeous
She
too.
is totally
She's
gorgeous,
really
and
pretty.
she's
I have a
got her
girl
own
crush.
vibe, and I'm really into it. But I don't like how she treats Abram.
I know he.
I think
really
their
loves
relationship
her.
in general is probably a little messed up on both ends. I don't know.
Yeah,
who
of course I'm
treats-
not there.
You know, I don't know who's worse
But you
in
can
that
totally
situation.
tell that he wants to be with her
Yeah.
so bad, and she's just kind of like, let it be.
And that's not her fault if she doesn't want to be with him, but she's not straight up about it.
What's your comment? Because I know you.
Yeah,
you
you're
wanna
sitting
say
there
something.
biting your lip like
I think Abram's so hot.
Abram's
I-
sexy.
You know,
What's that on his chest? Like
It's a
you
scar.
go up
Oh,
against, like,
it's
the
a
stump
Inferno.
scar.
the, stump the
It's a
steamer.
keloid.
That's a scar.
It's a keloid scar.
It's a what?
What
Keloid?
is it?
It's when your scar heals
There's like 2 of them there.
above your skin. He probably got attacked by a werewolf.
You know, it was either a bear
Cara Maria.
That's
attack.
probably what it was.
Or-
That's the first thing I thought of.
Definitely.
You know, you can get those tattooed too, which is weird. But
Really?
I don't know. Who knows?
like
He
on
does
the,
have a lot of tattoos.
like the frats where they
Yeah.
brand each other.
You can get those tattooed on you.
Wait, hold on. It's what are you calling it? A keloid?
Keloid.
Keloid.
Yeah.
I want me
Spell
a keloid.
keloid.
A lot of African American people get them. Like our skin heals differently from scarring. So maybe Abraham's black.
Anyways, what I have to say about
In the
their
right places.
relationship is that I think that I think that they're both in the right in their own way, and I think that when the way you just described it with like him chasing after her and her being like I don't really want it, that's so easily comparable to Leroy and Naomi, but it's nothing like that.
I think she really cares about him too. I just think they probably have a lot of issues to work out, or they both need to take some time apart and then
or just bang on TV and then get over it because I want to see it.
Oh God!
And we get points for that.
Yeah, we get points for that.
To make my life better and give me points. No, but we're both being very politically correct tonight. I feel like you're like sticking up for both sides of the team. This is so different.
But I actually mean it.
I feel like they both
do.
love each other, but they react differently. I think Cara Maria, when she realizes how much she cares, is the type to back off, whereas Abram's the type to
you think she's scared because she likes him so much?
Scared of like that 100% commitment.
Why do people get scared of that? Is that off topic?
No, that's not off topic. I'm terrified of it. I'm terrified of commitment. It freaks me out. I don't want to be tied down to one person.
And it doesn't mean you don't love the person, right? It just means you don't love the idea of being with one.
Of answering to somebody. I don't need a parent.
The epitome of
right, but see, a relationship shouldn't be like a parent.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. I suck at that. Like the second somebody should, I mean, I yell at girls for doing it, but I'm so one of them.
Is anybody surprised that we've actually seen like a lot of love in quotation marks on this show more than we've seen like fighting between exes?
Vomit while you said
the word
because
love? It's disgusting. But we've seen a lot of it. We've seen CT and DM like crying about each other, both loving after each other.
God,
we see Cara Maria and Abram both puke on those two. There you go. You want a strong opinion on them? I came in on the first episode and I thought I really liked, and I thought that this turned it around for me because on the Real World I didn't like them at all. And Dustin and Heather, no, not at all. And then in watching this show and watching their commentary and things like that, and this could be 100% production, and I don't know them personally, so whatever, but I just see like their noses in the air and acting like they know everything and then going off on their own, and it reminds me so much of people from our season who faked a lot of shit and went off and did things on their own and were very like Ken and Barbie that I want to stab them in the eyeballs.
Well, I think that Dustin and Heather were in it to win it for sure, and that they didn't really care about. They knew that they were coming in as rookies, and they didn't care about making relationships with people. So I think that it did come off as snooty.
I don't know. I don't get that same vibe from them that I did on our season necessarily, and this is just my opinion. I don't really know either of them, but I just see more two people who are private.
And it just seems like they really like each other.
You can't be private on the.
Yeah, but
you can't be private on TV. Don't fucking sign up for it.
You can be private if you want to. There's no rule that says you have to put it all out there. There really isn't. If you want to be private, that doesn't make you fake. It just means that you're not the type of person to put all your business out there.
And maybe they didn't want to come into the house like screaming and like making noise because they don't want to put themselves.
And I know
out
that
there
kind
yet.
of situation. If I went, for example, which I never will, but it really it would intimidate.
Stop it! You don't know that.
I don't want to. It would really intimidate me, though, being in a situation where I know people are kind of volatile. They have a lot of long-running drama. If I came in there, I'd probably be really quiet and keep to myself, too, unless people came to me.
I would be so polar opposite of that.
Me too.
Oh my God.
I would make it my fucking job to go in there and call people out for being quiet, because quiet, when you're in the situation, you have to go in there. And Alex, you know this. You have to go in and talk about things. You have to go in and discuss things.
And that's okay,
the whole
but
point.
You don't necessarily see that. I'm sure if you actually go up to them, they're willing to have a conversation. That might be the difference between people in our season and them.
Maybe,
I feel like they're the type of people you could go up to and talk to.
And have a conversation with. Yeah.
I don't think
I
they
like
avoid
them, and I'm not hating on them at all, but I think that if you're signing up to be on TV, you have sort of a responsibility of being
to be okay.
At the same time, though, then that responsibility is given to the people who cast them, because they cast them probably knowing that they may be the type to keep themselves. So why not blame the casting directors over the people for being who they are?
And I
Fuck
mean,
the
it's
system.
a challenge. It's a challenge.
I'm not talking about producers.
Like, the real world, that it's like filming your all's lives and what you guys are doing. It's a challenge, so maybe that was their way in going to the challenge. Like, I'm gonna be.
And I don't really care about that. I just want to watch people compete. I don't give a damn about how they interact socially as much. I think for me, I just want to see them.
See, that's what the challenge loses for me. It loses for me because I love watching the Real World hammered people goofing
drama.
off.
And you know what? So much that happens on the challenge. And
MC, and I like that about the challenge because I love all those people. Like, I've watched all the episodes, so I love to see them just get trashed and just like be crazy.
They don't really focus on the house
Yeah,
vibe
the
as
house
much as they
vibe.
do
I wish
the
they did.
competition.
I can
more, 'cause
promise you
it's-
that all the people in that house are crazy ass mofos, and they are going nuts and things like that. And I want to see
Why
that.
aren't we seeing it?
I don't know. I want to see it.
You think they're like partying really hard even though they have challenges and they're trying to stay?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Steamer, do you have any opinions
I don't
on
wanna
what we're
see it.
talking about?
I think about like Dustin, like considering what he put out there on his season of Real World, I can see where he's being a little more reserved this time, considering like how much like it backfired on him, like his whole past, and going into the situation with that out there. I mean, he doesn't want to come across as like an obnoxious kid.
Was he the gay
That's
porn
what they
kid?
saw in his season, and he wants to just basically establish like an identity for the show, and maybe if he comes back at future challenges, he'll be more outgoing and be more himself, and the people will like him.
No, that makes sense.
I mean, it's totally fair. It's my opinion.
And
just
you also
because
have been in a situation, you know how people just edit certain things.
I just don't like any sort of, this is my, like,
Shadiness
any
or,
sort of
like,
self-editing. I don't like that. There's no point in it. We got cast to be
totally
ourselves,
agree.
and I think it's so dumb, and it's a personal violation to us and then to all the other crazy people who are giving themselves
And it's
to
rude
not
to the
go in
people
there.
watching. I will say that. And even though I do, as I'm saying, I do like them because I like their relationship together. If you took one away from the other, they're both very bland
But you know what? We don't know
on the show.
we don't know anything about like what's going on the show. We know nothing.
You don't know, and the fact is they don't even really show us much footage of that.
Right, so we don't
and
know.
if they're going to show us something, they're going to show us something really wild and out
Right.
there versus people who are just...
Well, let's see wild out there.
I
I want to
wish-
see Anissa getting banged over the railing by like Tyree or something. Let's
We
see that.
saw Leroy like eating
I sure
Anissa
saw
out
that.
dancing.
Yeah, you don't want to see that? All right.
Steven, what do you want to see?
He wants to see Mandy and Jazz going at it.
Is that
No.
No, it's being sarcastic.
Okay, which is a good time to give my apology to a friend of AfterBuzzers of our Jasmine. We messed up. We messed up, girl. Like,
yes?
Yeah,
you
they
got my
did.
apology
I'm gonna
on
try,
Twitter.
and I have to know somebody before I comment on them too much. So anything I say here about anybody, if they take it personally,
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not
Exactly.
necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
I'm a person. I'm watching
That's
TV. I watch
what
it.
it
But
is.
we gotta get everybody in here. Anybody that I've said good things, bad things, whatever. Show yourself, and I'll change my opinion. My opinion changed like that.
They slashed me to death when I was
first
the
one.
first one, so don't worry about it, Jazz.
I
love
still
you,
don't
girl.
like them much, but no.
At the same time, like that eyeshadow she had on was ridiculous. Like this episode, she looked better. But
Okay.
like last episode, she had that weird ass eyeshadow on, talking about Tyree and all that. So I could see like ripping into her. But this episode, she looked good.
And we apologize.
This is what I gotta
Just
say
the
though.
eyeshadow.
This is what I have to say
Just
though.
the
If she
eyeshadow.
had came back at me and been like, "F you, you're ugly, I hate you," all this stuff, I would have been like, what I said was completely true. Screw this girl. She was so nice to us that it was like she's clearly
She's
a
a
good
great
person.
girl.
There's clearly something inside there that I am not seeing on TV. So
Yeah, I mean,
Apologies.
we weren't bashing like on, you know what I mean.
no, I don't know what you mean. Anyway,
I
that's
think we
whatever.
can't say people are ugly.
Yeah.
Is what we can't say.
Yeah.
Just no more saying people are ugly.
We are
I can have
exactly.
a bad day on here and looking really ugly. And
I
y'all
will-
can be bashing on me. You know
I
what
will,
I'm
I
saying?
will
Like,
personally attack people's personalities only now.
There we go.
just good.
Perfect.
Because they can refute it, like we were saying. You can refute it when
Right.
someone's like,
When
"Oh, you're
I was
mean,
like-
you're boring." You'd be like, "No, I'm not. You don't know me." But if
Exactly,
someone's just
like,
you're ugly. I'm
Frank's sexy, so I never was like, ew, this guy's ugly. I was like, this guy's insane. Who the hell does he think he is? But then,
He's hot.
yeah, but he's good looking.
Yeah.
So.
yeah, you did think he was hot from because you were
Cutie
here
pie.
the first AfterBuzz for our season. I was
Did I
here, and
say
she was
that?
just like, "Ooh, he's cute." As we were sitting watching TV.
All right. Well, AfterBuzz exclusive.
Ooh, I'm
Roxy and
blushing,
Frank
I'm
on the
blushing.
next challenge.
Okay, move us on.
Roxy's gonna
Okay,
replace
okay,
me
okay.
on all future challenges.
So,
She's gonna show
at
up.
the
What if I
end
just
of
like
the-
did that? That'd be amazing.
So at the end of the challenge, it came down to who? It came down to
Okay, so
Dunbar.
we see
and
Dunbar,
Paula.
Paula versus Rachel,
Right.
and
obviously Paula and
I
Dunbar.
still can't believe
won.
Rachel got to play that.
I think it's so stupid.
See,
crap.
I didn't understand that. Dustin goes home for stitches,
Right.
but Anissa,
but Anissa gets
doesn't.
stitches too.
She had stitches, and they're like, "No, you're a good
No,
girl."
you're fine. Yeah,
Just
what-
bust your lip again.
And like we
It's
said,
okay.
Rachel still got to compete, even though Anissa couldn't. But Heather
Right,
didn't get to compete.
if it was allowed that
although
one
Dustin
person
couldn't.
could compete in this, then it
Yeah.
should have been whatever. That made no sense. And we also saw Leroy and Naomi versus Abram and Cara Maria.
Yes, and so it
Cara
ended up
Maria?
being
Cara Maria,
Cara
yeah.
Leroy and Naomi going back into the dome. Is it the dome?
The Dome.
The Dome. And they went against Emily
some
and
Dome.
Ty, which I was really shocked that they even picked Emily and Ty because
I wasn't.
They want them out because
want
they're
them out.
actually a
But
competition.
I mean, let's just be real though. They should have put Emily against I don't know what other like Robin.
What competition would Leroy and Naomi have beat Emily and Ty?
Maybe Heather and Dustin if they had actually.
No,
No, if it was
I'm
those
saying,
two in the Dome.
If it was those 2 groups in the Dome, in what scenario would Leroy and Naomi have won? Like intellectual strength, nothing. I couldn't think of
Flower
anything.
picking.
Just because, honestly, like, and I last week I was saying I actually like Naomi. I think she's a cool chick, and I like how open she is. But
Yeah, I agree.
but I feel really bad for Leroy because
I mean, just
she's
subtract
always
Naomi
getting
from
down.
that. Emily is just so strong. I feel like
Right.
any girl in there
Oh,
against
yeah.
her would have been really challenged.
That's
Oh,
totally
for
true,
sure.
but Leroy's pulling his own weight in all these challenges, and I feel like Naomi could be a stronger competitor if
I
she
really-
thought she
yeah.
was a stronger competitor.
I think
yeah,
a lot of
she
it is
psychs
mental.
herself out.
Totally.
She psychs
Definitely.
herself out.
And I'm
And
not
I feel
saying
like
she
she
didn't
has
try.
muscle underneath all that.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
this
and she's
episode,
scrappy. I feel like
Yeah.
she really could get
Yeah,
down.
like, I feel like
I just think
she-
maybe she gets intimidated.
It's also a lot about do your research, do your homework. A lot of these are intellectual, so know your crap. You know, if
Right.
you're going on a show to win so much money, do your homework.
Sunny,
Go-
who Brad Pitt was married to,
Yeah,
and how to
right.
spell calculator.
Right, exactly.
No, but
Yeah.
you know that you're going to be asked questions about this show at least, so do your research. I mean, I think she answered a question incorrect about which season was something, you know? Know that. If you're going on the show, know it, you know?
Well,
and easy for
so
me to say.
much.
Obviously, I would be up there being like, I don't know. But I just feel like
That was just a
Leroy's
tough one. I
trying.
feel like they were last in the challenge just because they happened to get questions they didn't know the answers to. It was kind of luck. But then when it
Exactly.
came to the Dome, that was just a
They
given.
couldn't have won.
They couldn't have won with
and
Emily
she was
there.
really trying there, I will say. You saw, like, but
Yeah.
no, I
I-
mean,
And it was
feel
also
bad.
like the weight difference between Naomi and Leroy that it just made that challenge really, really hard for them.
Steamer.
Whereas Emily and Ty are closer in size.
Right.
Yeah, no, they're
that's
closer in
true.
size.
Yeah.
Emily's size are
Emily's
solid
a
rock.
big girl.
buff.
Like,
Yeah.
not
I
big girl,
would-
like fat. Big girl,
I was
like,
just
just
imagining
like,
myself being in like a duel that involved like pushing or wrestling against her, and I was like,
Can you imagine her in the sack? I bet she just got
Oh my god! Okay, so my mom always told me that I have this is a coin term from Howard Stern that I have retard strength, and I feel like Naomi would have retard strength. It's like strength, like I shouldn't be strong, but retardedly I am. So
I feel
I'm
you.
kind of like
feel
that.
like
I'm
short,
really,
scrappy
I'm really
girls.
yeah, short,
surprisingly
scrappy
strong.
girls. So like rep us, you know, be short and scrappy, and I understand it's hard going against
But
Emily.
it's mental too. This
Emily's
whole
like-
thing is so intimidating. I feel like
Yeah,
even the
that's true.
challenge, what made that hard was that it was intimidating. Ty spelled something wrong where you could tell he knew how to spell it, but
Significance.
the
And he forgot
intimidation
that,
factor
right.
got him. And I feel like that's kind of how the duel is too, especially when you're going up against Emily. That I would go
Yeah.
in already expecting to lose.
Yeah, a vein
But
in
you
her
can't do
thigh,
that,
in her
right.
thigh, like
I mean,
goes
I
like
would
that.
try
You're
my hardest,
terrified.
but
Yeah, but you can't go in with that attitude. You have to be like,
Yeah.
whatever this is, I'm gonna kick the crap
Yeah,
out of her.
right.
And even if she had gone in with that attitude, I don't think she would have
I'd
won.
have taken a
but-
shot beforehand because I feel way better than I am after that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I would
took
have
a
gotten.
shot.
I would get wasted before these challenges. I would like.
You get stupid strong when you're drunk, too.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And because you're getting hurt and you're like, I don't feel this pain.
I don't feel
Like,
Yeah.
it. And then the next day you're like, oh.
seriously, like, what challenge would you be worse at when you're drunk?
Yeah.
I can't think. Of
Spelling.
Yeah.
They won't let you compete if you're drunk.
Oh, that makes
Oh.
sense.
Is
that
Yeah,
true?
Wow, okay.
And,
All
I
right,
think it's
physical
Turkey too.
danger.
Brandon drank before the challenge, and they.
So you're
they
telling
said
me
he couldn't
Nate was
compete, so they had to
sober?
forfeit.
Oh, wow.
Steamer and
Steamer,
his
what do you
plethora of
think about the
knowledge.
dome? How do you
Like
feel?
you were mentioning, that you don't think there's any challenge that Leroy and Naomi could have won. Like if they did like a replay of that first challenge that like
The spinning
that they did
Q-tips.
this season, yeah, the spinning thing. I think they could have won
They
that.
could have
And
done a
Ty
puzzle,
would have gassed
you know,
out,
I
and it
think
would
they
have
could
came
have done
down
a
to
puzzle.
Leroy and Emily.
Right.
And I think Leroy could have won that.
No, that is, yeah.
What about the one that
That's
they
true.
won last week?
Yeah,
think
it
they
was
would've won
the-
that?
The cross thing, that's what he was talking
Oh,
about.
the
They could have if
No,
it
he's
came
talking
down to
about
the coin
spinning.
flip again.
Maybe
like,
if it had to do
I
with
think Leroy could
balance,
outmuscle
sometimes
Ty.
that's just luck.
Leroy would have beat Ty.
Yeah, that's true. If you ever had to separate the two partners, that's how they would have won. Unfortunately.
Oh, right. They had to work together.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
We're toast.
yeah, that
Yeah.
just sucks. So like, I would never want to be carrying my teammates back, you know, on them.
Or if it were like a hanging challenge, because if Ty had to hold Emily up for a really long amount of time, Leroy and Naomi probably would have
yeah,
won.
because
If it was something that
It's a
countered
whole-
the girls' weight with the guys.
How do they pick these challenges before they see who's doing the challenges?
You gotta cross your fingers and hope so.
I believe so.
Yeah, because you don't. I hope the producers aren't pulling those moves.
Yeah.
A part of me wonders
taking
though
a
if
soup on that
they.
one.
What do you mean?
I
If
totally
they
wonder.
decide what the dome is going to be after they find out who's going into the
Right,
dome. Like
exactly.
Well, remember they
I don't
had
want to question the producers.
They had
but
that
I
one
wonder.
that one time where they had a spin to see what
That's what I
they're
was just gonna
doing.
ask. Have
Yeah.
they ever done that?
They did do that in one
Yeah,
of the
and they had like
challenges.
cards, they did spinning.
Yes,
so
yeah.
there's ways that the people who went in had to pick.
I bet you they
Yeah.
I bet you they pick before or after they find out.
You're
who's
so
gonna be
worried
in.
about saying that. Just say what you think.
No,
I
I-
bet you they pick.
I think they do. I honestly do. Otherwise, it would just be a random thing where you pick the
Right.
card or you.
But
spun
they
a
did
wheel.
but they did do those. So, but maybe the ones that
Maybe
they don't.
different for this
then-
challenge.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would
I
be
don't
such
know.
crap.
Or
and I
just
would
like how
definitely-
Dustin had to go home, but
Yeah.
Anissa did. I don't know, and I don't know. Maybe a mouth injury is not as
severe as a knee,
vulnerable in germy conditions or something. I'm not sure, but
Definitely, I would inquire about that before going on the show because it's kind of crap. You know, like I would be pissed if I was Dustin and Heather watching, or obviously they heard about it before, being like, "What the hell? Why could Rachel compete without Anissa?"
Mm-hmm.
I would have been so pissed. I would have called them up and been like, "What?
Yeah, I would have said
What the hell?"
something. Yeah, I would have said something too.
Definitely. How do we
So
find them?
Leroy went home. I'm sorry.
I love watching him.
I know.
And the more I watch him, the more I wish he was like my boyfriend.
He's just such a genuine, like
He's so
Well, it's a
sweet.
good thing that
so
He's
genuine.
really nice to Naomi too, even though I know she probably frustrated him.
Oh yeah, he probably was just really wanting to be like, oh.
That's what I wrote down. He's such a good partner. He's such a team player. And
Even
Yeah.
with Mike.
yeah,
last time.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because
You want Leroy on your team.
you want him on your
And
team.
I want him to win
He
when
want-
I'm
and he
watching,
wants
too.
to win. That is his goal. Some people, I feel like they aren't really, their head's not in the game, and he's like, I'm here and I'm winning.
Right.
And it clearly
just
didn't
is
happen.
sad
But
that-
yeah,
And he's a nice person. You know, like there's
Yeah.
certain people on the challenges where I'm like, I don't even know them, so I can't judge, but I don't root for
And
them
I
as
feel
much.
like
I'm
all those
always
people
rooting
there
for him.
knew that he's a good person. You could see like everybody like rooting for him and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how we ended that.
I mean, I think that pretty much covers the episode, and that we should jump to commercial and then get back to predictions. Yeah.
I'm
Let's,
down.
let's hit a commercial.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Oh, we got some music on.
Oh, this is new. What is this?
This is the music I feel Steamer listened to back in the 80s, and so for this very special, fun, special segment,
we have to stump it.
where you got to stump the Steamer, and this is his theme song from Knight Rider.
Oh my! I don't even know what to ask Steamer. Steamer, stump us instead.
I think maybe I got some questions.
Okay, Steamer, how do you spell anti-disestablishmentarian? I don't know. Okay, ask him.
Does it have to be about the challenge?
Yeah, make it. Yeah.
But like
guess
I
we
don't
can
know the
stump him.
answer though.
So we'll just trust him.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
just
do it.
trust him.
Do it.
Okay. So okay, you remember Veronica, right?
Yep.
Which challenge was her last challenge she did?
Whoa, Steamer.
It was recently. It was the ruins.
Good one.
Yeah, you got it.
How'd you
Couldn't
know?
stump him.
That That's where she almost hooked up with Evan. Then after that, she got into a fight with
Evan.
I believe it was Tanya. Yeah.
Oh,
she was all
Tanya.
after Evan. I don't know if they ever actually did anything, but that was the last time she was on.
Okay. Do you remember Brad?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Who? Oh wait, no, that was like the question that they asked on the damn challenge that we just watched.
What was that?
Oh, something about who did Brad want to be engaged to?
He got married.
That was Tori.
They're married.
They're married.
They got a kid.
What about?
Oh, they do. Damn, he's so fine.
I don't know if I can remember. On the island, who was stung by like wasps?
Oh, I remember that.
Do you remember who? I don't, but
Yeah.
Who
was
was
stung by wasps?
Don't answer.
On the island.
Do you know?
Who had wasp sting scars from the island? Still does to today.
Really?
Brought it up on the next challenge. Yeah, I remember this.
No, I got a good one. Am I gonna
Paula?
stump you?
What'd you say?
Paula?
We stumped Steamer.
Oh, yeah,
It was Jen. It was Jen. Jen has scars still from getting stung by wasps.
That one was
a good
intense.
one.
I love the island though because it was so.
Where was
That's
it?
a crazy season.
On an island.
It's on an island.
It was on an
But it
island.
was really
Steamer, where
wild,
was
like
the island?
I don't know. I'm not good at location.
He doesn't do geography.
Just took a dump on the steamer.
Doesn't count if we don't know the answer either.
No, yeah, definitely.
Island was awesome though because it wasn't a mansion.
They should go
It was
back
just
to
like
that though. Have like an island too where
I'm into
I would
that.
love that.
everything and they give like a drop box each week. You
Oh,
send
that'd be
through
so
right?
awesome.
I would just love for them to
hardcore.
live outside.
I'd lose so much weight. It'd be great.
They did get skinny. They
Exactly.
gave them rations. It was like rice and beans, and they were even fighting over like how much rice and beans.
That's
they
like
could eat.
Survivor.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Maybe
I
you
love
have
that.
like a door, like the whole
survive
house
so
is like this
easy.
open window.
I would just
I'd
find
come
those
home with a
coconuts.
pig. I'd be like, I hunted these poor of you.
All right, I say one more for the Steamer. Maybe he can redeem himself on the third.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta come with one more.
I mean, that's 2 in a row he's gotten wrong. That's terrible.
We stumped you
I know
so
it's
hard.
bad.
Okay, hold on. You've been answering mine.
I don't know.
Okay. Who? How many of the people have married somebody that they've met?
In the world?
How many have married what?
I don't know, like the other people that. Oh, that was a stupid
How many people have married somebody they met on the show?
On the
Yeah.
show.
43.
Brad Torrey, the guy from Boston, married somebody. I forget who. That's
Okay.
two.
Okay.
I can't think of any more.
Oh, I know
There's
exactly
two.
who you're talking about on Boston.
Wait,
It
the
was so
congressman
cute.
from Boston?
Yeah, was it Adam? Is that his name, Adam?
I don't
Or
know. I didn't see the
something.
season.
No,
I
it was really
heard about
cute.
it.
I know who you're talking about. The blondie girl.
Yeah, glasses.
And the other guy. Okay, yeah,
All right,
that was
let's
good.
go with predictions then,
Yeah,
because I got
Okay, yeah.
who the hell? Like,
I don't
what is
know.
going to happen with all these strong teams?
It's scary now.
Are Rachel and Anissa strong as a team? Because they seem like the weakest link to me.
I think it
Rachel's
depends
strong.
on the challenge because it could be a little unfair if it were a challenge that required like brute male force.
All right,
Rachel's a beast.
who's next off? Let's do that.
Okay.
Who's next off? I say either Rachel and Anissa, or I guess I can only pick one. So I'm going to go with Tyree and Jasmine. I think they're the next one's gone.
I agree.
I don't. I'm gonna say.
You guys are being nice now. You're like, Jasmine and Tyree are going to the end.
Yeah,
They're gonna be
Jasmine's
at the
gonna
final
win.
show.
Jasmine's winning.
I think
I love her.
Jasmine-
She's so pretty.
No,
I'm not being fake. I don't
yeah,
know
I'm
it.
agreed too that they're gonna lose.
You just said
Why?
I don't agree.
Why do you think so?
I'm gonna agree.
Because I just don't. I think that.
I'll say why
Tyree's-
then, because I think that they're the next line in the line of like rookies as far as that
Or,
goes.
Honestly, I think maybe Paula and Dunbar.
I mean,
'cause
people have
Emily and
considered
them are gonna
voting
come
them
after
in
them.
to
True.
the dome
So
before.
I think Paula and Dunbar. That's my team.
Okay. Yeah, I think I actually think Paul and Dunbar too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because, well,
Oh, really?
no, I can't. I don't know what I actually think, but I know that I don't think it's CT and DM.
No.
I don't think it's
No.
Camilla and Johnny.
No.
I don't think it's Ty and Emily.
No.
So, and
don't think-
I don't think it's Robin and Mark. Yeah, it's either.
It's definitely.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's either Anissa.
But I don't think anybody's throwing Anissa and Rachel in because I
Yeah.
don't think everybody
would vote for
has
him.
issues with them right now.
Yes, I'm with
And
Paula.
you know what? You keep them to the end, and then they're so easy
I don't
to
think
cut.
Paula
Yeah.
though,
Right.
because Paula is kind of the power.
She's
I don't
the
know,
power female.
woman.
She's the
yeah.
power bitch.
but
then
then
again-
coming for her.
But you know what we're not thinking about? I'm not thinking about who would end up in the dome.
Yeah.
I'm only thinking about the people who would be voted in the dome, but
Yeah.
Oh.
just ending up in the dome might be Rachel and Anissa, and then they'd be gone.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go with Rachel and Anissa.
Okay.
Just because they seem to me like the next to go.
Yeah.
I'm just following the rookie line because I feel like that's what always happens.
Wait, can we talk about our CT and DM gonna end up together?
They're pitching it hard, right?
I mean,
I
every
know, I
episode they
hope
give us a little
so.
update.
Oh,
I hope they
so
do.
cute. They're so
CT's hot, but I can't get over like the seasons when he seemed really
Yeah.
violent.
Yeah, you want him to
Yeah.
you want him to violently take you to the bedroom, Alex.
I had to pull my hair.
Yeah.
I would do dirty things to CT.
He's really good
so
looking.
cute.
He is
very
good looking.
He got
And
that
I feel-
accent.
and
too.
DM's really
It's
And I
like,
feel like too, I think DM's really nice. So I feel like even though I've kind of judged CT from other seasons and I've been like, oh, he's mean.
I feel
If
like-
a girl like DM likes him, he must have a lot of good qualities.
Oh, and a good heart, definitely.
Steamer,
and
who
he
do you-
looks like a teddy bear deep down underneath his
Yeah.
like big hot.
Anyways, Steamer, who do you think's next to go?
Ty and Emily. I think they're gonna be thrown back in, and
Wow.
it'll just be a random thing where they're gone.
Oh,
Huh.
you're right. Because then maybe one of the other guys are just like, you know what? We're gonna do it.
They seem like that's who they're going to be gunning for, since that's who Paula sent in. So I think if Johnny wins and Mark wins, they'll throw him back in.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's true.
That's actually a really good. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Throwing them back
Steamer-
in. Because I was
Steamer
just
knows
assuming
all.
they were winning next time.
Right.
Because Emily's so pissed off.
Yeah.
I was assuming she was just going to win, but if she doesn't,
That's
they-
true.
I hope they win.
They're voted once before.
You hope they win? You like them?
Steamer?
Yeah, Steamer?
Yeah, I hope they win.
Did you have to think about that one for a while?
I do not. I don't know.
Well, thanks everyone for watching.
Oh my god. Everybody Twitter handles.
All right.
At MTV Frank Sweeney.
At Alex Govere.
At Roxy Striar.
At Nicolette Gaona.
And Steamer? Where can we find you?
At the
At
Steamer.
the Steamer, baby.
Oh, and Team Nicolette.
Oh,
Be on
Team
my
Roxy Frank.
Team Roxy Frank.
You know what? We'll even call it Frank Roxy.
Okay, got it.
Froxy.
Froxy.
Foxy.
Froxy.
I'm Fox and you're a vixen, babe.
Pretty good.
That made me
Cute.
smile.
I like that. Yeah. And I
Bye now.
Oh, bye.
Oh, bye. Goodbye.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.